Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dave, and today I'm going to be doing a 2026 metal tag response video to the Heavy Metallurgy channel. Marty and Alan came up with another 20 questions this year for the metal tag, which they've been doing a great job since they've taken over for Scott, the Rock Scout. He quit YouTube a couple years ago, and since then, Marty and Alan's been doing the questions. So we got 20 questions to look at and answer today. Prior to get started, I have not watched anyone else's response videos, so if I've misinterpreted any of these questions, I apologize in advance. With that being said, I did struggle on a couple of these questions, but we'll get to that when we get there. What I'm listening to in the background, Vector Outer Isolation. This is a 2012 earache release. I've been listening to a lot of tech thrash and tech death lately. I've been on a tech kick here lately. So yeah, spinning some Vector today. Great thrash band. All right, so yeah, like I was saying, we got 20 questions to answer today, so let's get right to it. First question, number one, giddy up. 2026, Year of the Horse. Show an album that has a horse on the cover, horse-like creature, such as Pegasus are permitted, but you do lose street cred for unicorns. For me, might seem like the obvious answer, but I'm going to double dip on this as well on the first question. For me, Grim Reaper, See You in Hell. This is the 1984 Ebony release. Great album. This was a very special album to me in 1984 when I discovered it, and it still is today. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm going to double dip on the first question, but yeah, debut album from Grim Reaper, See You in Hell. They got a real horse on that one. 1985 sophomore album, Fear No Evil. They got a steel horse on this one. So yeah, Grim Reaper's got some horses on the cover, that's for sure. Both these albums I really enjoy. But yeah, I'm a big Grim Reaper fan. So that's my answer to number one. Question two, nostalgia. Show an album that you don't think is very good, but you can't bring yourself to get rid of it. I'm a big fan of this band, but this album here's never really done it for me. Kiss, Asylum, 1985. Never been a fan of this album. Yeah, not a big fan of their look as well. It does have some good songs on it. You got King of the Mountain, that's a good song. Tears Are Falling, the hit single, that's a good song. But you got songs like on here like All Night. Just not a strong album in my opinion. I know this is a popular album, but yeah, Kiss, Asylum. This is where Kiss was following the pack instead of leading the pack, in my opinion, to be honest. But yeah, question two, Kiss, Asylum. Show your favorite new release question three, show your favorite new release in 2025. That was an easy one. This one here's great album. Coroner, Dissonance Theory. I'm still listening to this album, to be honest. But yeah, great album. Hell of a comeback album from a hell of a thrash band. So yeah, Coroner, great album. A lot of great albums in 2025. That is for sure a very strong year. Okay, question four. From Beyond. Show a favorite album that is not heavy metal. Well, on this one, you could probably pick any album from this artist, but for me, Pink Floyd. This is Dark Side of the Moon. This is a 1973 Harvest release. But yeah, love Pink Floyd, love Dark Side of the Moon. I mean, I love all of them. The Wall, you can't go wrong with any Floyd record. But yeah, for me, Floyd. What the hell did I do with the questions? 5, The Unknown. Show an album that you can't remember ever hearing someone talk about on YouTube. Yeah, now obviously I don't watch all the YouTube channels, but I have never seen this album or band on YouTube, but I'm sure they have been somewhere. Main Dater, Initial Velocity, great thrash from Stockholm. These guys do have 5 demos and a couple comps, and they only have one full-length album. I have Initial Velocity, which is a repress, and then Perfect Progeny. Yeah, I've never seen neither of these albums on YouTube, and this is a fantastic thrash band. Front Loaded. Show an album whose first song is its best song. For me, this was an easy one. Atheist Elements. This is a Season Mist repress, but 1993. Third studio album from this band. First song on here is Green. Fantastic song. Love that song, and I'll be honest with you, the rest of the album is not as strong. I've been listening to this a lot lately, to be honest. Definitely prefer the first two, so I've been spinning this. And it's better than I do remember for sure. But yeah, Green is a fantastic album. Or Green is a fantastic song, which is the first song on this album. Yeah, if you're not listening to this album recently, check it out. It's been a while since I've listened to it, and I've been refamiliarizing myself with it for sure. 7, Encore. Show an album that you would think would be better if it was longer. Well, this album is really not short in any means. It's a 40-minute record, but it's always too quick for me. Exodus, Bonded by Blood. Yeah, like I was saying, it's a 40-minute record, but it feels like 20. Every time I listen to this and it's over, I can't believe it's already done already. So yeah, great album, debut from Exodus. What can you say about this? Hasn't been said. Just a fantastic album. But yeah, I definitely wish it was longer for sure. All right, question 8. Fail. Show an album you bought that disappointed you. This was a 2025 pickup, to be honest. Really disappointed us. Actually, this is a 2018 release from Hidden Intents. Prey, Demise. Fear, Prey, Demise. Australian thrash. I do have the 2021 release, which is fantastic, which is called Dead End Destiny. It's got a Crocodile Dundee looking dude on it. It's kind of a goofy looking color. Talking about a hilarious covers, it'd be a hilarious cover, but I do not have a physical copy of that. I just have that digitally, but it is just full of riffs. It is a fantastic album. This one here, not so much. Not a very memorable album. But yeah, I was disappointed just compared to how good the Dead End Destiny is. So yeah, Hidden Intent. Some thrash from Australia. The Return. Show an album that you played in 2025 that you haven't played in over a year. Here's an underrated thrash band in my opinion. Accuser. Repent. 1992 release. 4th studio album. This is where Frank Tomes took over on the vocals, and he still does today. But yeah, I love Accuser, especially old Accuser. Yeah, these guys would be in my big 4. German big 4, these guys would be my big 4 instead of Tankard, and that's no disrespect to Tankard. Joker. Show an album with hilarious cover art. This is one here that I kind of struggled with. I really don't have an album that's, I would say it's hilarious. I do have a couple that's inappropriate, but that's not going to work either. So I went with this one for as good as an album this is. It's kind of the silly cover. But the self-titled Great White, this is the American pressing. The other pressing, the black pressing, is actually the of the cover that's black. This is on the back of that album. I don't know why they decided to put this on the front cover, but for a strong metal album, it's kind of a silly cover. Looks like they're hanging out in the alleyway by a fire. Kind of. He looks like he could get busted for soliciting. So yeah, just not a hilarious cover, but it's a really silly cover for as strong as a heavy metal album that is. And like I say, that's one I did struggle with. Yearning. Can't even read my writing. Yearning. A name of potential album release you're anxiously awaiting in 2026. This might be the obvious answer, to be honest, and I could be wrong on that. Like I say, I haven't watched any videos, but for me, it's a no-brainer. King Diamond. This album here, Give Me Your Soul. Love this album. I know this is not a very popular album. I myself love this album. This is probably my favorite album of the 2000s. Well, it is my favorite album of the 2000s. Really enjoy this album. Looking forward to hopefully another King Diamond record sooner than later. A lot of great songs on this. Probably favorite song on this is Black and Night. Black and Night is a fantastic song. It looks like it could have been, or it sounds like it could have been recorded 30 years ago. It has that old school King Diamond sound to it. Yeah, just fantastic. Love this album and really looking forward to a new King Diamond album. It's way overdue. All right, so now we're on number 12. Question 12. Collector scum. In your collection, is there a pesky gap in a band's discography that you're hoping to fill? Yeah, for me, it'd be this one right, the album prior to this. Anacrusis, I'm missing Suffering Hour, the 1988 release. This is the 1990 release. I know, and I have all my Anacrusis on OG CD, so I'm wanting an OG CD of Suffering Hour. That being said, I have seen it, but the prices on it are crazy. So yeah, I need to get me an OG copy of Suffering Hour on CD for sure. Evolution. Talk about a band or an album that you think is successfully moving its respective genre toward creativity. All right, this one here. I'm sure you guys, if you haven't figured out yet, my channel's pretty high tech, so just keep that in mind as well. But yeah, for me, Ravening Iron, Eternal Champion. Like I say, I'm high tech as fuckers around here, so. But yeah, great modern era, power metal, epic power metal. I do have this and the first album as well. I have the first album. Shit, I can't remember. I have it digitally. I'm not even gonna try to remember it. But yeah, I do have the first album but not on a physical copy. But yeah, Eternal Champion. These guys are long overdue for an album as well. They are showing that they are still active. But yeah, Eternal Champion. Not a big new school power metal guy, but these guys are fantastic. 14. Told you so. Show an album or albums that someone recommended to you that you impressed you enough to purchase it. Yeah, I was watching one of Roger's updates, and he was showing, he had a thrash and death metal update, and he showed this, and I was like, I got to check that out. Denial, Antichrist President, from 1988. Never heard of this band. Good old U.S. thrash, but yeah, I ended up picking this up after seeing his video. They just had a new reissue come out on Awakening Records, so yeah, I had to pick this up. But yeah, this is good old school U.S. thrash, very politically motivated. But yeah, it's a really solid album for sure. King Cheese, recommend a power metal album to Marty that you think is exceptional. He is always on the hunt. Now, with that being said, I'm sure Marty and everybody else has heard of this album, but to me, it's a pretty cheesy album, but it's good. 1999, Metal Blade, Sacred Steel, War Gods of Metal. Like I say, I'm sure we've all heard this, but I think this is a great album. So yeah, I recommend listening to this if you haven't in a while, but like I say, I'm sure Marty and everybody else has heard of this. But yeah, cheesy power metal that I dig for sure. Brain Drain. When you feeling musical burnout, what is a nostalgia album that always makes you excited about music again? Oh, wait a second. No. I'm sorry. I fucked that up. I missed 16. 16. 2 minutes to midnight. What is the last album you bought in 2025? Yeah, I picked this up on December 31st, actually. I had to go out and do some running around and stop by the old used bookstore, and I could not believe that I found this in there, to be honest. But yeah, on December 31st, Seven Doors, Feast of the Repulsive Dead. This is just fantastic horror themed death metal from the UK. Very happy to pick this up. Very surprised to find this locally as well. Ryan Wills is the mastermind behind this, a one-man show, which is just absolutely fantastic. He is also mastermind behind Grave Ghoul as well. But yeah, Seven Doors. Very happy to have this in my collection. With my first LP of Seven Doors, I have everything on CD. Okay, 17. Brain Drain. Whenever you're feeling musical burnout, what is a nostalgic album that always makes you excited about music again? For me, it'd be this one. Maiden, Somewhere in Time. This is an 86 US pressing. But yeah, whenever I need a reboot, I either usually pull this or Fear of the Dark, to be honest. But yeah, this is usually my go-to. Fantastic Maiden album. All right, 18. There's Waldo. Show a classic or older album that you somehow overlooked for many years that you loved as soon as you heard it. This one was a no-brainer for me, to be honest. I listened. Chromie had this on Chromie Docs. I just played a snippet of Heavy Metal Attack, and I was hooked. Griffin, Flight of the Griffin. Fantastic U.S., old school U.S. metal. I do not know how I overlooked this so many years. But yeah, this is just a fantastic album, in my opinion. This is 10 out of 10 all day, every day. Yeah, great stuff. As you can see all their influences on the back here. So yeah, great stuff. Griffin, Flight of the Griffin. 19. Hello, my name is. Was there a video or stream that you participated in during 2025 that you're especially proud of? Include a link in the description. Yeah, I was lucky enough to be invited to the Heavy Metallurgy channel. Marty and Al invited me on there. Came up with the topic of U.S. metal releases. Very proud to be on there. It was a very piss poor performance on my part, to be honest. I was hammered, to be honest. I was quite nervous before the show, so I started drinking about 6 o'clock. And by 9 o'clock, I was already drunk. By the time it was over, it was real bad. So yeah, was on the Heavy Metallurgy channel. Not proud of my performance at all. It was a very piss poor performance. I was drunk and I just basically shut down. I didn't want to say nothing stupid on camera, so I was basically not saying anything at all. So yeah, I was on a stream only stream I've ever been on, and it was not a good performance. Just FYI. 20. Into Glory Ride. Name a band you want to see release one more great album before they retire. Boy, for me, this was a no-brainer. I thought of this band instantly. It would be fantastic for these guys to make a kick-ass thrash album again, because they have not done that in a long time. Metallica. These guys play the classics 2 or 3 nights a week, if not more. I would love to see these guys come back and make a real thrash album. And I'm talking old school thrash, back in these days right here. These guys, you know, even James, he could change his vocal tone, you know, maybe deeper or maybe harsher. But yeah, these guys could make a kick-ass thrash album if they wanted to. It would be really great if they went back and just made an old school ass kicker. So yeah, guys, that's my answers to the heavy metal Urgy 2026 metal tag. I really appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to watch my video. With that being said, thanks for all the new subscribers as well. Quote of the day: I want to rock it and roll it all night. Me and my Chevy don't stop at no lights. Hey, take care, everybody.